Welcome to the world of macrame. My name is Diane and I work with the Belleville Public Library and Information Services. Today you're going to learn 3 macrame knots, making a macrame leaf keychain. Included in your craft kit are the instructions, 9 pieces of macrame cord, the key ring, a leaf template. At home you will need scissors, a marker, a hairbrush, and a clipboard that helps you hold the piece while you're making it. We start our project with a lark's head knot. Let's get started making the lark's head knot. Fold 1 macrame cord in half, creating a loop. Place the folded cord with the loop pointing down and ends pointing up. Place the key ring on top of the folded cord just above the loop. Pull the loop up over the ring. Pull the cord ends up and through the loop and then pull down to tighten. Now let's get started making the half knot. Okay, we're going to take our first cord and put it underneath the 2 cords that are already attached to the key ring. These are your center cords. We're going to loop them down so they're relatively even on both sides. You're going to take your left cord, you always work from the left first, and you're going to bring it over into a loop position like that. You're going to take your right outer cord, put it on top. Then you're going to tuck it under the 2 center cords, and you're going to bring it through from behind the loop that you created. Gently pull it, push it closer to the top, pull it tighter again. Try and keep your 2 center strings parallel to each other as you're doing this so they don't overlap as you're pulling it into a knot. And then just pull it tighter. So there's your first half knot. The half knot is the first part of the square knot. Let's finish the square knot. Now, to finish it and make it a square knot, you're going to take your string, your outer string on the right, make it into a loop. The left string will sit over top of it. Then the left string goes under the 2 center strings, like so, and under the loop and through. And then gently pull. And there's your first string attached with a square knot. So left string starts, create the loop, bring the right string over top, put the right string underneath the 2 center strings and under and through the loop at the back. Hold your center strings, pull it taut. That's your half knot. Now, your right string goes over top to create a loop, then the left string goes over top of the loop, underneath the 2 center strings, and through the loop, and then you pull it tight. Let's keep going. Okay, here we are with our final 2 strings. So we're going to start from the left to the right, bring the right string over, under the 2 center strings, through the loop at the back, and start to pull it tight. And there's your half knot. And then the right string goes over, creates the loop, the left goes over top, under the 2 strings, through the loop at the back, and hold your 2 strings down with your finger and pull the knot tight. Push it into place. And the final string. Under the 2 center strings, line it up, start from left to right, right string goes over top, under the 2 center strings, and through the loop on the left-hand side. And then we pull it tight. And then to finish it from a half knot to a square knot, you take the right string, bring it over to create the loop. The left string goes on top, goes under the 2 center strings, through the loop at the back, and through it comes. And pull it tight. And there we go. And you can tell you've done it correctly because you should be able to see a loop at the side of the knot on the left-hand side consistently all the way up. If you don't see that, you've probably tied the square knot in the wrong order. I've done it before myself. Not to worry about that. You can always push whatever part of that craft you're making. So say it's the center one here that was done incorrectly. You can pull these down a bit, unravel that, take it apart, and start over and do it again. Now it's time to create the fringe. Okay, now the fun part starts. We get to start unraveling the cord on either side, and this will make the nice fringe on either side to create the leaf. Now, I don't start with a hairbrush with this. I unravel the cords first. As you can see, when you work with the cord, it starts to do that more or less on its own. You can see the tip here has started that process already. So let's start unraveling. Okay, once you've unraveled all of the cords, you'll have the opportunity to pull them apart a little bit more, which is something I do before I use a hairbrush on them. And then once I've finished doing this, it'll be time to brush it out. I've pulled apart as much of the cord as I can to create the fringe, and now I'm going to use a hairbrush to brush it out. And I'm going to try another brush just to see if it gives me a slightly different outcome. Let's get the template ready to trace the leaf. Next, you'll want to cut out your leaf template. Place the template after it's cut out onto the macrame piece. I tend to put the point at the shortest point of the fringe, so at the end of the 2 center strings. So I'll put my point there, and then I will trace based on where the remaining template sits to get the shape that I want for the keychain. So now I'm going to hold the template in place, and I just draw little dots with my marker. Once I finish tracing the first side, I turn the clipboard around so I can easily work on tracing the second side. Now that the tracing's finished, you can see the dots are easily visible, and you can use that pattern to cut out the fringe. To cut out the fringe, make sure you have a nice sharp pair of scissors. Now it's time to cut out the fringe. And I'll push the extra fringe away. When you finish the cutting, lift it off of the clipboard and just trim up any loose ends. Good job! You've made yourself a nice macrame leaf keychain. If you enjoyed this craft and you want to learn more about macrame, check out the resources available at Belleville Public Library.